Next speaker is the former Secretary, Defense Crisis Management Group, Disaster Management, Corporate Trainer, guest faculty at IIT Kanpur, Amity University, Army War College, Defense Services Staff College, Wellington. He has monitored operations of Kargil War. Holder of Limca Book of Record 2004, being from a family who has maximum officers in defense forces. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our great pleasure to have Brigadier Vinod Dutta with us. Please call upon Brigadier Vinod Dutta, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege and an honor for me to be, speaking to such an august gathering on a subject which is as old as the civilization itself. But it requires refurbishing, redesigning and redefining. एक बड़े मशहूर शायर ने कहा है, वतन की फिक्र कर नादा, वतन की फिक्र कर नादा, वतन की बर्बादी आने वाली है. The definition of leadership, though every organization is based on leadership. If you don't have prime movers, things don't move. But the prime movers have to be framed and chartered and mandated in a particular organizational requirements. The attributes of leadership are known to everybody. I'll give you 2-3 examples, which will surely deduce the leadership qualities which a person should have. I also want to quote you from the Vedas, which says कि ऐसी कोई बूटी नहीं जिसमें कोई मेडिसिनल वैल्यू ना हो. हर बूटी में कोई ना कोई वैल्यू होती है. ऐसा कोई मंत्र नहीं जिसमें कोई शक्ति ना हो, और ऐसा कोई इंसान नहीं जिसमें कोई खूबी ना हो. Why I want to reiterate this point is that as a leader you have to select your team. There is no one, कोई इंसान ऐसा नहीं है जो किसी काम ना आ सके. Somebody may be good in IT, somebody may be good in liaison, somebody may be good in dadagiri. Yeah, I'll just give you an example. Bilkul. Because to become a leader, there are 3 basic ingredients. Firstly, the individual, the group, and the cause. Anybody who displays some leadership qualities, he is generally accepted as a leader and projected one. I will tell you, when I was telling you I was posted in Northeast. We were just discussing with the Kulvinder Saab that he has just come back from the East. There was an operation which was to be planned where an anti-national element used to come to a basti and he used to terrorize people. And he used to, live off the land, enjoy all the freebies. So a plan was conceived that there were a lot of rickshawalas, autowalas, and so an officer was selected that, okay, you will be staying in that basti for 6 months. So he took a rickshaw on kiraya, he put on lungi, he was growing a beard, and he was picking up the local lingo and the lifestyle. When the commanding officer called him, he told me, sir, मुझे जितने disciplinary cases हैं unit के, I want them in my team. So the CEO was taken aback. बोला यार, this is a very sensitive operation. You can't be taking those, the drunkards and those kind of people. He said, no sir, I would like to take such people only. So the CEO, the commanding officer again said, think it over, buddy. He said, sir, I have thought it, but I want X, Y, Z. He said, यार ये तो सबसे बड़े गुरु हैं लोग. He said, sir, यही चाहिए. They all went. धीरे धीरे जाके एक झुग्गी किराए पे ली, रिक्शे लिए, दाढ़ी वाड़ी बढ़ा के, they started milling around with the people. That guy used to come. He used to stay there. Their sleeper cells were there. He will meet them. These guys, they developed so much of confidence in those people that they started ferrying him. One of them, there was a river which he had to cross, and one of them became a malla, that boatman, and he used to ferry him. They developed so much of confidence, and the team which he selected was so apt that they were drunkard, they were drinking away, they were smoking, they were boozing, they were on grass, everything. One day, their area commander was to come. He was to be ferried. This officer, with the men which he had, and 2-3 other assistants which he had, they put a pistol under the lungi and they started ferrying him. When the area commander was coming, in the middle of the river, when everything was this thing and people were in eye contact, this guy, he took out his pistol and he fired at him, point blank. Since the initiative was with him, he fired at him, but they were also, no less players. That guy also took out weapon and he shot this officer. This officer was shot in his belly, and no doubt that guy was caught. Then the other help also came, and this guy was nabbed. This officer was awarded Kirti Chakra for his valor and gallantry. I want to tell you that nobody is bad. You have to select apt person for a particular job. So what I want to say is, never discard anybody that, he cannot do this, he cannot do that. You have seen a lot of success stories where people, they were refused admissions, they were refused, Amitabh Bachchan was told that your voice is not there. Today, we know where he is. So, as a leader, you have to know the potential of your men. My next story is about a girl. I was taking a motivational lecture in an ITM university. So I walked up with the chancellor, he introduced me. I am trying to highlight initiative, ingenuity, confidence and trust by this story. After the lecture, this girl comes to me. We were having a cup of tea. He says, sir, I am so and so. So I thought she must be wanting some guidance, counseling or something. She comes and tells me, I want your phone number. I said, here it is. In the evening, I get a call. He says, sir, do you know the chancellor of the university? I said, I know him because he invited me for a lecture. He says, I want you to help me. I said, in what way can I help you? She says, my results are going to be out and I'm going to flunk in 4 subjects. And I want you to put in a word to the chancellor that he should pass me this time. And next time I will not give you, any reason that why I have not done well. I said, that's a very, tall order which you have put on me. Firstly, I can't go and tell him that you pass her. And I don't even know you. But she said, sir, I was enjoying life. I came from a small town. I was staying in a hostel. I was enjoying my life. And she was very candid about it that, I used to enjoy, I used to drink. But this report is going to go to my parents. And I'm really going to be hauled up for this. You see the initiative, trust she had. You see the best example of trust. I just want to tell you, you take this child and throw her up. She goes happily. She goes happily because she knows that when I am coming down, you are going to hold me. That is the trust. That is the requirement of a leader. That when you tell him that, okay, bullets are going to come from there, or that is the mission which I have to. It is not like, what you have seen in Nasrani, 50% baएं, 50% दाएं, बाकी मेरे पीछे. It's not that. So the trust is like the child, he doesn't know. You have thrown the child up, he goes very happily, though he's scared. But he has that trust in you that you are going to hold me and I'm going to land safely. So this girl, so I spoke to the chancellor. I told him, sir, I have a very typical request, though by no stretch of imagination I can ask you for this. But he says, how do you know that she's going to fail? I said, this is what she has told me. And he says, how do you know this girl? I said, she's a daughter of my friend. Again, he says, it will be very difficult for me. Then he said, okay, what we can do is she can ask for a re-exam in some of this thing, and in 2 papers she should ask for revaluation. She asked for that. She was given pass marks. That girl passed. She was in communication with me. I again went for the next session. She told me, sir, this is my score in the next semester and I have done well. Today, she is working with Infosys and she is doing pretty well. What I wanted to highlight was that it is the initiative, it is that spark which you have to have, and the connect. I was not knowing that girl, she was not knowing my potential, but it was basically the trust which she had. Another example I'll give you of trust is, I was looking after the disaster management, both nationally as well as internationally. District Collector Solan, she rang me up. There was a tunnel collapse. Thakur was her name, I'm forgetting his first name. She rang me up, it's about 5 o'clock, 5:30, we were to wind up from the south block. She tells me, sir, there's a tunnel collapse, nobody is going to get saved, but I want some army people to come. But I said, if you know that nobody is going to get saved, why are you wasting the efforts? He says, sir, I have been gheraud by a lot of people. The very fact that if they see the thud of the aircraft or the helicopter and some uniformed people come, they'll feel nice and we will make an effort. I requested Chandi Mandir that please send some, Chandigarh, please send some efforts, and 2 guys were saved out of that. That officer who was there. What I want to say is that is the kind of trust people have. If you don't have any accountability as a leader, then it is not leadership, it is dealership. I am telling you, in any organization, and particularly in the organization, I am telling you, I come from a family, if you take out my blood, it will be green in color and not red. I am telling you. Uniform color. Because it is, army job is not a job, it is an involvement. It's an involvement. And that goes for other organizations also. If you see the bigwigs, if you see the success stories, they are all involved in it. If you take it as a job, then you are getting only salary. That's why they say, okay, in a government job, if you work, you get more work. And if you don't work, you get salary. So it is basically you have to involve as a leader. And then only people will recognize you. That's why I'm telling you, a road to a success destination is always under construction. It is always under construction. A leader has to be curious. He's a learner. That learning curve, it never tapers. What I want to say is that today, when you have these things, I'll just give you, if you give me 30 seconds more about Kargil. I was, monitoring the operations. When battalion was to go, it had 4 companies. 2 companies were of Muslims, Khemkhani Muslims, and 2 of Rajputs. They were about to reach the target objective. They realized they had run out of ammunition. Bullets were shot. And that time there was an Insas rifle which is there, in which you have a transparent, magazine where you can see the bullets. So people used to put tape on that so that in a close quarter battle you can't see. Because if I see you are only left with 2 bullets, I have the upper hand. This company commander rings me up on a radio. He tells me, sir, we are short of ammunition. I was dealing with the operational logistics. I told him it will take a lot of time and you are already very close to the objective and the enemies. I am telling you the ingenuity and the initiative. This company commander said, I am left with 2 bullets, so-and-so is left with 4 bullets. He says, I am going to fire only 1 bullet. 1 bullet I will keep. If I am captured, I am going to shoot myself because I don't want to get captured. This guy said, I will launch my Muslim companies, the Khemkhani Muslim companies. He collected them. He says, gentlemen, we are not going to go back. It is do or die situation. Since the war cry is there, since it was the Khemkhani Muslims company, they said, Nara Tadbir, Allahu Akbar. They shouted and they charged. He says, Ab jo hoga wo dekha jayega. The Pakis thought that it is our reinforcement which has come. By no stretch of imagination, they realized that the Indian troops, will have this Nara Tadbir. But since he had those troops, he says, let me utilize them. He used initiative. He had that much of confidence. He had the trust of the people whom he was commanding. And they launched, they stopped firing. Unhone kaha, aiye janab, aiye janab, aiye janab. And then they thought, okay, these are our own troops which have come for reinforcement. And they butchered these chaps. And with only initiative and trust and confidence, he could capture the objective and keep the name of his battalion high. Thank you very much. I want to just tell you, I'll conclude with only, the officer's credo, which should be applicable in any organization. The safety, honor, and integrity of your country comes first, always, and every time. The welfare, the safety, and the honor of your men which you command comes always second. Your own comfort, your own ease, your own safety will always come last. That is the role of a leader. That's how we should be. We may be representing a small group, large group, or whatever. That should be our aim.